Hi, this is Angela from Soul Tarot. Welcome to your weekly energy reading for the 28th of September to the 4th of October 2020. Hope everyone is well. Thank you so much for selecting a card on Soul Tarot with Angela on Facebook. I really do appreciate your input every week on this. And we really are starting to move forward and out, but there are still some harsh energies around, and the first thing I wanted to highlight is the full moon that's on October the 1st, so that's only in a few days' time. We actually do have Uranus, causing the instability and all the riots and everything, and the tension around the world at the moment is being triggered by Uranus. So this full moon, as I said, is linked to that. So there might be that feeling that you could be building up anger or resentment or frustration of some kind, and this can be in any area of your life. It could be in a personal relationship, it could be with work or with family. So it's really, really helpful to try and stay patient if you can, be flexible and be adaptable. So really kind of take a breath, because I am starting to feel like the energy is rising and building up and getting stronger, and we still have that Mars retrograde happening at the moment, which is also causing a frustration, because it means it feels like we can't move forward, and that's squaring Saturn. So there's all these lessons about, Mars is moving ahead, Saturn's about lessons slowing down and learning everything properly and doing it in a disciplined way. So you can feel just by what I'm saying, you've got Uranus, you've got Mars retrograde and Saturn really kind of, okay, well, we've got to be disciplined about this. So this is the first full moon for October. There's two full moons in October. So the blue moon is on the 31st of October, the second one. So hope you enjoy the full moon, and just beware of tempers and irritations. So I'm going to get into what I feel is the energy of this week, is just briefly touching the astrology basically supports what's going on here. And if you have a look at the cards, we've got the crumbling, the initiation, and the warrior woman. So card 1, 2, and 3. This basically, the energy of this, plus when I was channeling earlier, it just represents this time where you're cutting things out from the past that no longer work. There has been so much built up tension, like you can't move forward, you're really stuck, that it feels like this is now the time to let everything go. Like the past is the past, and there's been a certain amount of reflection and holding on to the past that's been happening, and that's all about to kind of crash down, and it's pretty confronting. It's pretty confronting energy. I'm feeling that kind of energy around me. It's very emotional. It can be also quite painful. So I'm going to get into talking about the cards now. The good thing that comes out of all of this, though, is the fact that what's on the other side is really positive for your soul's growth. And we're not, doing all this work during COVID for nothing. We're really standing in our absolute truth, because it's almost like, this whole COVID has created this new benchmark for living, this new platform, this new way. They talk about the new normal or the next normal or whatever, and it just is what it is. So, we can label it if we want to, but it's just what life is. It's always about change and adapting. That's one of the best qualities that we can move through with life. Letting go is also one of the hardest things to do, though. So if you're hanging on to relationships or jobs that don't serve you anymore, or even could be a combination of both, it might be time to finally release that, even though it's been hanging around for a while. So the crumbling, this is like the tower in the traditional tarot. So there's a major shift happening right now. You've got the lightning hitting on the top here, and it's kind of, split it in half. But if you have a look here, look at all the flowers, look at all what's behind it. So even though it's breaking down, it's actually showing, okay, well, what's on the other side. So, but what it's really doing here is anything that's on shaky ground that isn't true is most likely going to fall apart. over the next month. This is going to attach quite nicely with a full moon as well. So it's going to bring you back into aligning with who you are, because the full moon, as I said many times in the past, it always amplifies what's going on around us and it lights everything up. So with this card, if you're in the thick of some kind of a conflict, if it's interpersonal relationship, it can be a job, it might feel like the universe has been attacking you. It feels like it's been targeting you. It feels like, oh God, why do I have to go through this again? Or why does this have to happen right now? Or it feels very confronting. So these times are going to define you and you're going to be reborn. So it's letting go of the past and let that tumbling occur. So the sooner you let go, the sooner this rebirthing can happen, like a rebirthing of you. So as an example, if you're stuck in this relationship, it's not going anywhere, you're seeing red flags, you're feeling emotionally triggered by it, frustrated, you know, yes, it can be about timing, but right now it's showing here the time right now is for you to rebirth. So, you know, it's going to be there on the other side if it's meant to be. So just allow the tower to crumble and build your life again on solid ground. And, you know, this is what you'll see on the other side, which is this beautiful garden. The initiation. This is the second card too. This is a card of being on a pilgrimage and you're reaching somewhere very sacred, okay? But only people who've been initiated can enter. So, you know, you see all the darkness here and then you see it's like a portal going through to the other side with beautiful colours. So this could be you're feeling very tested right now. It's actually quite supportive of card 1. So some of you may have picked 1 and 2. I know that I'll be picking 1 and 2 this week. So this is kind of like a rite of passage that really requires you to cross from one state of being to the next. So we're being called to face what scares us the most. Maybe you're facing the fear of the unknown. So this letting go of what you've known is difficult, but it's part of the initiation. So it can be attached to a lot of emotions here, this loss, grief, hardship. You know, it could be your heart just cracks open and, you know, your spirit's going to be invested to move forward. If you feel the initiation is happening now and it is painful, it's showing here you'll get through the other side and you'll be thankful because you will have embraced more of your heart and it will be worth it, because, you know, you might be sort of coming along here on the path here, but you haven't actually got to this portal doorway where what you see on the other side means you leave everything behind that wasn't working, that was really painful to you, that you had hopes for, perhaps, that you really felt like, you know, in your mind and in your desires and in your dreams that it was going to work. And, you know, perhaps it's time to, you know, it's almost like a resetting of your dreams, but it's allowing you, you know, as you're letting go and you're letting go of all of this, you're being initiated to be stronger in yourself and be more of who you are. So it's a similar theme, although the crumbling is more of, you know, it can be like a sudden loss, a shock. The crumbling can be a shock, but that's a clinging onto, whereas the initiation is more, you've got this right here now to move forward, because, you know, if you've picked 1 and 2, it means that you've let go of something and now you can move through. So number 3, the warrior woman. Basically, this lady here is about to step off the platform and dive into the deep. And I really feel this, she reminds me so much of Wonder Woman with the sword there. So, you know, this is going to be living a heart and soul led life, but it's not a bed of roses. You know, it never is doing this, you know, and again, this initiation, I mean, I think the cards are very connected this week. But I think if you're resisting your calling, it's going to be harder. So because if you embrace it, it's going to be so important and really, really so satisfying for your soul's growth. Sometimes when we're really feeling the fear, they say, feel the fear and do it anyway. But sometimes fear is an indication that we are actually headed in the right direction. Like that Fool in tarot, where you just want to take that leap of faith. You're ready to do it. You're pretty prepared. You don't know about all of the pitfalls until you get there, but that's the whole idea. So, blind faith is different than not having planned faith, if that makes sense. But the one thing about courage and taking a leap of faith, it's not possible without that fear. And that's where courage is needed, and it comes from living from the heart and doing what you really want to do. If you want to be doing your own business and you don't want to be working for an employer anymore, this is what might be needed. You're feeling the fear. It means you're going to have to rely on yourself for income, and that it's really scary. What's it going to be like on the other side? Letting all of that go, the crumbling of all of that. It can be very much related to business and identity this week, I feel. But the fears, getting back to that, it's an opportunity to expand. So this means you're going to be letting go of outmoded ways of living. It could that are holding you hostage. That whole idea of, especially with COVID, we've had a breakdown of all kinds of, systems of government, systems of companies, the way things work. All of those things are sort of coming apart, and that could have made you feel like you're being held hostage because you're not living your true life. So if you look at fears in that light, that as being an opportunity to grow, then that could make you feel a little bit more comfortable. So the fear, as I said, it could mean you're actually on the right path. Okay, so would love to hear your feedback. Please, if this resonates for you, like, share, comment, subscribe on to my channel, Soul Tarot with Angela on YouTube. And thank you so much for watching. Remember, this is just a general reading. If you want an individual reading, book me on soultarot.co or reach out to me on Soul Tarot with Angela on Facebook. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.